Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about astrology and Thanksgiving. Well, astrology and Thanksgiving, I think what's interesting about this time of year, okay, you have, in most instances, you're going to have the sun in Sagittarius at this time. And Sagittarius, of course, is a sign that's very expansive, very jocular and jovial. And what's interesting too is that during this time when Thanksgiving comes, you'll find that people will be inviting their friends and family over to have Thanksgiving dinner with them. The atmosphere is very expansive. It's a lot of positive, like Sagittarius like energy. People are really more congenial. They're more friendly. There's also a time of year when people may be a little bit more religious as well. When right around this time when Sun does enter Sagittarius, people might be going to some service at their congregation that might be connected with Thanksgiving. This could be a time too when you have the sun entering Sagittarius and you have Thanksgiving, I should say when the sun being in Sagittarius and it's Thanksgiving time, well, this is a time too where people can really, they just really have a more kind of a friendlier way about them often than usual. Even you'll find people that perhaps that are somewhat introverted and they're not very outgoing or gregarious. You'll even find that they'll even have a little bit more outgoingness to them during this time than usual. And what's interesting too is you have on Thanksgiving now in the United States and National Football League, you're going to have 3 NFL games, 3 pro football games are going to be on and televised during this time. And of course, Sagittarius is associated with sports. So it's a time where you have a lot of it's this holiday cheer in the air, and you could almost feel just the joy in the air at this time of year. This is really, when people talk about, well, I'm going to get ready for the holidays, a lot of times they're referring to the time when Thanksgiving is going to begin and goes all the way until Christmas. And of course, what's interesting too is that when Christmas comes, that's on December 25th. The sun is in Capricorn, and it just recently left the more jovial, jocular sign of Sagittarius, and it's gone into the more serious sign of Capricorn, and it's a time too around that time when people are, it's interesting, where they're more serious about New Year's aspirations and commitments. But as far as Thanksgiving goes, it's a time when people are giving thanks to things, and really they're really, what that's doing is they're really looking at the positive aspect and element of things, which of course is very much Sagittarius. They're not saying well, I don't have this or I don't have that. People aren't lamenting or ruminating about negative things from the past. During Thanksgiving, it's a time where people show an abundance of appreciation for the positive things that are happening. It's a time where they're just really giving thanks, and people are more naturally, can be more giving at this time. And what's interesting around this time too is that when you hit the day after Thanksgiving, you have like the Black Friday, I believe, and when that happens, you can have a lot of people be going to the stores and spending, sometimes spending an exorbitant amount of money on doing things where they're purchasing gifts for giving and in a real holiday cheer. And that happiness, that cheerfulness, I believe, is strongly associated, corresponds with the zodiac sign Sagittarius. And people are on Thanksgiving, they're giving People will invite others over to their home, being very festive, and they're not really asking for anything in return but their appreciation and their enjoyment, and showing their appreciation and joy for what they are having, what they're eating. So it's really not, this is not about getting, it's really about a strong giving period, and that Sagittarian benevolence, I believe, is strongly connected with this. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for Astrology and Thanksgiving, and stay tuned next time where I'll be continuing my series on the zodiac signs and love. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.